Hello guys, welcome to Ikra Technology. Today we will see multithreading in Java. So first we will see the definition of multithreading. In Java, multithreading means running multiple threads. Okay, means smaller units of program at the same time. Think of thread as worker. Each one can do a different task in your program, allowing things to happen simultaneously. For example, one thread might be playing music while another is loading a file. Okay. Now, what is thread? A thread is a smaller part of a program that can run independently. Okay, it shares resources like memory with other threads, allowing the program to do more than one task at the same time. Okay, then we have why we use multi-threading. So first is for efficient CPU use. It helps us using the computer's processor more efficiently. And another one is for better performance. Threads share the same memory, so it's faster than running separate program for each task. Do you understand? Then we have responsiveness. Multithreading helps programs feel smoother and respond quickly, like in-game or apps where many things happens at once. Okay. Then we will see creating threads in Java. So there are two main ways to create a thread in Java. First is by extending the thread class, and the another one is by implementing the runnable interface. Okay. So let's see both of the example. First we have extending the thread class. When we create a thread by extending the thread class, we write our task inside this specific method called run. Okay, means when we are creating a thread by extending the thread class, for example, here we have created my thread class which extend the thread class. Do you understand? And inside the main method, we write the code we want to use as a thread. So here we have used a for loop where we are running from 1 to 5, means incrementing values till 5, and we are printing it where we are printing running thread and then the number. Okay, so it will run number till 1 2 3 4 and 5. Okay, and we have used sleep method here. So sleep is basically used to pause a thread for the given amount. So here we have given 1000 millisecond, which is 1 second. Okay, and we have used this in a try catch block, means if this will not be executed, then our exception will be shown, which is interpreted exception. Okay, and inside the main class and in our main method, we have created both the instance of the thread. So first we have created the thread 1 as an instance, and the another one we have created thread 2 as an instance. So these are two separate thread which will run at a same time, and then we have started both the thread. So thread start method is used to start the thread. Okay, we will see in this in our eclipse id, you will see our output as one. Both will print 1, then another will print 2 and 3, and till 5 they will print like this. Okay, here you can see we have the explanation of it also, and then we will see implementing the runnable interface. Okay, instead of extending thread, we can make our class implement the runnable interface. Okay, so first method was by extending the thread class, and another one is by using the runnable interface. Okay, so we have a runnable interface, we implement that. Okay, so this way we pass our task to a new thread object. Okay, so as you can see in this example, so we have used my runnable which implements the runnable. Okay, and we have renamed the method as run, and after that we have used the same for loop to print 1 to 5, and we have used our try catch block as same as above. And in the main method, we have first created the instance of the my runnable class, and then we have used the thread 1 and thread 2 instance, and we have implemented runnable task inside it. Okay, and after that we have started both the threads. Okay, and here you can see the explanation of it also. So here you can see start, why we use start method. Start is to start the thread, and then we have run method that contains the code that thread will run. Then we have the sleep method which use milliseconds in it to pause the task for the given amount. Then we use join method that makes the thread wait until the another thread finishes. Okay, and after that, let us see the thread synchronization. Synchronization is needed when multiple threads are sharing and updating the same data. It makes sure that one thread can access a piece of data at a time. Okay, so as you can see here, first we have a class counter, means we are creating a class counter that will manage a simple integer count. Okay, and after that we have private int count 0. So this is a private variable count initialized to 0. It keeps track of the count value and is only accessible inside the class. Okay, and then we have public synchronized void increment. Okay, so this is synchronized method called increment. Synchronize means only one thread can run, that means at a time, ensuring that thread safety. Okay, and we have used counter plus plus, which is for increment. So this will increment the value of count one by one. Okay, and after that we have public int get count. This method returns the current value of the count, and return count, it simply returns the count variable. And after that we have our main class, and inside that we have our main method. The program start execution from here. Okay, as we know, and it can throw interpreted exception if thread operations are interrupted. Okay, and after that we have our counter equals to new counter. We created a object of counter class to use the increment method, and then we have created a new thread named thread1. This is used as a lambda expression to define the thread task. Okay, and this loop we have here, which is our for loop. This loop runs 1,000 times, calling the counter or increment each time. And then we have closed the lambda, and after that we have created another thread, which is thread 2, doing the same task. This loop also runs 1,000 times and increment the counter. And then we have thread dot start to the execution of the first thread, and then we have thread 2 dot start to start the execution of the thread 2. And after that we have used thread 1 dot join. This line tells that main thread to wait thread 1 to finish. Okay, means when the thread 1 will be finished, then thread 2 will be run, and it will wait thread 2 to finish. Okay, and then we have printed the final count. Since both thread run 1,000 times, so their expected output will be 2,000. Okay, so we will see all this example in our Eclipse IDE. So here you can see we have first example where we are extending the thread class, and inside the main method we have given increment and printing running thread and till 1 to 5. Okay, and thread will wait for 1 second. Okay, which is 1,000 millisecond. And we have created the instance of both the thread and then started them. So if I will run this, you will see output as the running thread 1, running thread 2, running thread 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this was for example of using the thread, using thread class. And after that we have our implementing runnable interface. Here you can see we have implemented our runnable interface, and inside the main method we have did the same. And here also we have to first create the instance of the my runnable, and after that we have created two threads with the runnable task in it. Okay, and if I will run this, you will get the same output as the previous one. Okay, so these are two ways to use threads at once. Okay, and after that we have our synchronization. Okay, so let us see the synchronization also. As I have explained you previously, we have created a RSA synchronized method here, and then get count method to print the value of the count which is above. Okay, and inside the main class and main method we have created the instance of the counter, and then created first thread which will print number till 1,000. And similarly for the another thread using for loop we have printed till 1,000, which will be in the increment method. Okay, so we have used both the thread here. We have used join method to let them wait till first function is done. Okay, and after that we are printing the count, which is counter dot get count. Okay, so if I will run this, you will get the value of the count as 2,000. Okay, see we got the value 2,000. Do you understand? And here below we have two tasks which you have to practice so that you can understand better. Okay, so today we saw multi-threading in Java. Thank you.